have people around me, my flatmates, my friends, but I still feel like I have no one with whom I have that connect. It gets lonely out there, and I feel like I pretend to be someone I'm not in front of others. It's like something is missing in my life. I feel tragically and unbearably alone. Loneliness in today's internet generation has truly become an epidemic that no one really talks about. Somehow we end up hiding true versions of ourselves. We feel judged, so we think twice before being ourselves, hiding aspects of ourselves that can keep people at bay. In the process, we end up losing ourselves and eventually start feeling lonely among people. Hi, I'm Urvashi Bisht, head psychologist at heyy and a practicing psychotherapist with more than 5 years of experience. Today we are going to be talking about how can we overcome loneliness. Loneliness is a state of mind that can be distressing for the one experiencing it. We start feeling that our social needs are not being met, either by quantity and a major chunk by quality of our social relationships. Given that loneliness is a state of mind, being physically alone too can make things even worse if we are already feeling lonely. Apart from that, one can also feel lonely even after being around multiple people, whether it be at work, home, or school. We may feel alienated from our colleagues. You see from afar your co-workers excitedly talking about their weekends or exchange news over coffee as they settle down at work. And as much as you want to be part of those conversations, but you still feel that you're unable to approach the group or be part of the crowd. This rolls on in our mind throughout the day, and by the time you wind up your work, you feel unhappy, stressed, and anxious. Perhaps you're at a social gathering, and while everyone shares their laughs, clinking their glasses, you're sitting in the corner with your drink all by yourself. While you badly want to reach out to people, you also feel ashamed of being there all by yourself. You start scrolling through the media to look busy, fake calls to make others feel that you have other friends. But internally you feel all alone and can't wait to drive back home. At college, you see all your friends mingling through talking about cricket or movies, none of it of your liking. You try to indulge but feel out of place, and in a big crowd feel alone. Sometimes when you change schools or cities, it can also be overwhelming to start making friends from scratch all over again. The first few days of settling in your class can seem tough. You may find yourself eating lunch alone, and it can seem hurtful. You could be going through a tough breakup. You could be retiring from work that diminishes your social contact with people, or perhaps you got transferred to another city. Your circumstances are such that you're spending festivals all alone as you're not in the same city as your family. All these factors can make you feel utterly alone. In such cases, loneliness does arise from situation factors that are uncertain and inevitable. But when there is internal loneliness, it may be rooted in one's personality and their inability to make meaningful connections with people around them. It can also be a reflection of their own internal struggles with low self-esteem or the inner void that exists within them. Their own mental distress or feelings of guilt, worthlessness, lack of appropriate coping strategies can truly make them feel lonely. Simply stating, when they don't like themselves, it may be difficult for them to believe that others enjoy their company. This low self-confidence causes a person to minimize the time they spend with other people, or feel lonelier even when they are with people. Sometimes when one has had terrible past experiences or a troubled childhood where they have felt unwanted, unheard, or unloved, can impact their self-esteem to a level where they develop trust issues at later stages of their lives, or sometimes not be able to believe that people indeed care about them. This is when a person revolves around feeling lonely almost all the time because they do not want to trust people again. They develop this armor that protects them from getting hurt again. This is this constant fear of being alone that can be uncomfortable to begin with. Facing this fear is even more challenging. So one tries to avoid these feelings by not connecting with people at all. One may suppress these needs of intimacy and push people away because internally they know that eventually people will leave them. The more they push people away, the less evidence they have of people leaving them. But to their surprise, this comes with the cost of manifesting feelings of isolation and chronic loneliness. Well, loneliness in itself is not entirely a mental health condition, but there is strong link between the two. Having a mental health problem can actually increase your feelings of loneliness. For example, if one has social phobia or social anxiety, they find it difficult to carry out their daily tasks and activities that involve other people, which eventually leads to a lack of meaningful social life, causing them to feel lonely. Similarly, depression, being a severe mental health issue, can make people want to isolate themselves from others, not wanting to interact with anyone at all. They feel empty from within, the void keeps on expanding, and so does the loneliness. Newer research suggests that loneliness can change the way your brain is wired. Researchers found that there was higher gray volume in the areas of the brain, especially the default mode network, which are found to be in greater connectivity than other brains that do not feel lonely. Default mode network gets triggered especially when we reminisce or think about our negative experiences. We tend to replay and relive the experiences we have had before. Lonelier brains had heartier structure in a bundle of nerve fibers called the fornix, which carries signals from the hippocampus to that network. Our brains may adapt to this loneliness, creating an entire social world in our brains. The brain is a dynamic organ, meaning that these changes are not necessarily permanent. It can drive a change based on our social interactions and our ability to foster warmth, love, and belongingness. There are certain tips that can help you feel better about yourself and can conquer loneliness. Elevating loneliness can help you feel more loved, wanted, and cared for. Connect with more people. If you feel that you feel lonely even after having people in your life, if you feel that there is lack of satisfying social contact, you could try to meet more people who perhaps are different from your current set of friends. You could join a new class based on your interest or hobbies, be it online or offline. It could be joining swimming, tennis, or even gym. Volunteer at programs that could help you meet fellow volunteers with a similar goal in mind. Connecting with people with a fresh start every day at your own convenience can help you maintain your social life and help you build your self-esteem. Challenge your negative thoughts. You feel lonely when thoughts like, why me? Or why do I lack? What did I do wrong? Clouds over your mind. You experience all kinds of intense negative feelings such as sadness, grief, regret, or anxiety. It's like a heavy stone in the middle of your chest, not allowing you to enjoy life. This spiral of negative thoughts is difficult to stop, given that our brains also make us stay in that loop. Well, in order to stop our brains from making us think more negatively, we can try our ways to keep it positive. We can start by appreciating ourselves more when you don't label your negative thoughts and choose to see your strengths. Take a deep breath and count your blessings. Know that this is a temporary phase and you are going to get better. Perhaps you have not met the right set of people yet, and this is a great opportunity for you to find them and grow. Work it out with a professional. Walk out your lonely world by talking to a professional about it. Therapies allow you to explore and understand why you feel this way and also help you develop right tailor-made strategies to deal with them. They may focus on your belief systems and modify them. You can even address your emotional concerns, traumatic history, and all your bad experiences with them without the fear of being judged. This will work out the best for your self-esteem, self-confidence, and can also fill that expanding void within you. Focus on strengthening self-concept. In lieu with our previous point, dwelling over the past with negative memories will only keep you down and stop you from moving forward. Instead of reminiscing about what you lack, work towards it. Correct your inner critique. Correct the destructive thoughts they give you. Refocus on what you really like doing. Motivate yourself by indulging in activities that help you build yourself and pat yourself on the back for doing the same. Check on your self-talk. The way you talk to yourself impacts the way you look at yourself and the world around you. If you keep telling yourself that you are no good or the problem lies within you, this can put you in a never-ending loop that can pave a stony way, creating multiple mental health problems, which should be the road not taken. Enlighten your way by enlightening yourself. Be kinder to yourself. Be your own best friend. There's always a brighter side and you will find it if you look for it. In this course of life, you must have created your own success stories. Recognize them, write them down, and remind yourself that you are doing all that you can in an optimum manner. Preserve your existing circle. If you feel a certain disconnect with your existing friends, you can try talking to your circle about it. Open up to your friends and family about it. You may be surprised at the support you receive from them. Find ways in which you can reconnect with them. Instead of expanding your circle and looking out for newer people, try to reestablish your existing circle with the help of appropriate strategies. It can be as small as calling them or talking to them for at least 5 minutes a day. You may plan vacations with them or hang out with them over the weekends. If you feel uncomfortable opening up to them, you can always reach out to a mental health professional and talk about it. Look after yourself. Given the feeling of emptiness, not only does it affect one's emotional well-being, but one's overall general well-being. In this state of mind, one may stop taking care of themselves altogether. Diet can go haywire. One may find themselves binging over junk food. Sleep cycle takes a toll, and we may feel miserable the very next day. Well, improvise on these. Go out for a walk or a good physical workout. Get some good sleep. Get your diet on point and eat more stress-relieving foods that we have spoken about in our previous videos. Give up on your alcohol and smoking. Spend more time in greener environments. It can help you connect with yourself as well. Loneliness is a genuine feeling. Sometimes we may push this feeling away, thinking that it is okay to be feeling this way and that we don't really need someone else in our lives. While feeling lonely is absolutely normal, it should not go out of hand. Our breed is a social one at the end of the day. We all have a need for belongingness. We all want to feel loved, cared for. As much as loneliness is a genuine feeling, our need to be accepted and feeling wanted is also quite a genuine one. At some point, we all need a shoulder to lean on. We all want to feel heard, and that is how it is supposed to be as well. Talk about your thoughts and feelings in a safe space. If nothing works, mental health support is always available.